Lance Hall here for Let's Discuss with Lance Hall. Happy to welcome Jonas, Skyping all the way in from Switzerland today. Lead guitarist, vocalist for Comaniac. How you doing, Jonas?
That is right. I'm doing very well. Thank you, Lance. How are you?
I am doing great. Thank you very much for taking my call tonight. We were talking off air there for a minute. It's a little late in the day, but you say you like the nighttime.
I do. That's my creative time, and I really enjoy it. So thanks for calling me.
Absolutely. New album, Holodox, came out September 4th on Metal World Records. 45 minutes, 9 tracks. I have heard a copy of it. It is fantastic stuff, Jonas.
Thank you very much. I feel honored. Thank you.
The original release date for this was back in April, but in this crazy mixed up world that we live in, it got pushed back to September. How did you guys manage in the meantime with everything?
Yeah. You know that was a really tough time, I must say. These few months when we didn't really know what's gonna happen. But there was a time in early this year when we thought, yeah, it's gonna be just a few weeks or maybe a month or so. So we thought we were very looking forward to releasing it quite soon. So mid this year, but now we had to cancel it until now. So it was a tough time, but we could use the time for doing a bit more of promotion, and we did a video clip as well during this time. So we were very active. Maybe not like you couldn't really see it on social media, but inside the band, we were using the time very well, I think.
And you guys had worked very hard on this album. I think I saw in one post that you put up, you guys worked hours and days for months on the recording of this album, and that was just the demo part of it, correct?
Yeah. Yeah, we just topped it again. This is the third album, and we just wanted to get better and better with every album, try to be more innovative with our songs. And I think this was definitely the hardest album to record, especially, yes.
But you also sort of made it that way because I think I saw another clip where you said you wanted to write really difficult songs, some of the hardest songs you had ever written.
Yeah, you did your homework, Lance. Very nice.
I did.
Yeah, exactly. So we just, as I said, we just wanted to top everything we made until now, and I think we did that pretty well.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, this is the second album with this lineup, right? You had the same lineup for Instruction for Destruction?
Almost, yes. Our bassist has just joined our band 1 year ago.
Okay.
Until then, there was the former bassist from the band. He played with us, but he unfortunately left the band, but we got a great bassist now, so we're very happy with the lineup now.
Very cool. And then, of course, when it got down to doing the actual recording, you worked with Corner member Tommy, is it Vitterli?
Yes, exactly, yeah. He was our mentor for this album. He took a lot of time for us, and that was a great experience to work so professionally with a very experienced guy, especially in this genre of thrash metal.
So I was going to say, you guys had toured with them in earlier years, correct?
Not with Coroner, but
No?
with a lot of bands. For example, Metal Church. We toured with them, and Dr. Living Dead or Iron Flame from the US. So we toured a lot in Europe and also in Japan, but never with Coroner. We just did a few gigs with them.
But they were like a big influence on the band, correct?
Absolutely, yeah. It's fun, in Switzerland you don't have a lot of bands who are pretty influential in a way. You have Celtic Frost, of course. You have Crocus, which is a hard rock band, and then you have Coroner, which is for us absolutely one of the most important bands.
Yeah. Now, as I understand, Tommy records very old school, so when you do the songs, it's in one take, correct?
There's no mercy at all, yes.
No cutting and splicing,
correct.
an odd fill here, a wrong note there. You start the song, you play it over. That's truly old school.
That is very old school, and there's not just only playing it right, but you have to play it with the right feeling. And Tommy's absolutely merciless in this, with his mindset. And we suffered a lot, but it was worth it. I think it was a very important experience for us as a band to go one step further, and we achieved that, I think.
So let me ask. This is maybe going to be a dumb question then, because I don't. obviously I know something about how bands record and everything. If you did it all in one take, then so the band was more or less in one room, or were you like in separate studios, or how did that work?
Well, we didn't do it together, so it was always just the drums, and then there was one take, and there is a specific kind of recording that is possible and still is bands are doing this still today, to record in one room and doing everything together. We're not quite there yet, to be honest. This is a very difficult thing to record, and it's more used in old school and black metal stuff kind of music, which is more atmospheric and is not too much focus on playing tight, but more like a groove or kind of a messy sound, which can be awesome. But in thrash metal, we also wanted to be, the Swiss preciseness, and that was our goal. Yes.
Let's talk about the album title, Holodox. You got a couple of different meanings here, at least that I came up. It was like a person's final belief, an idea to answer all questions, or rise from personal struggle. Are you sort of combining all three of those, or was it something on a total different level with that name?
Well, it was quite difficult for us to capture our thoughts from Holodox into an English phrase or an English, English words. Sure. That was quite difficult. But what we wanted to achieve is we worked a lot with themes like perfection, and also wanting to get better and better, and then realize that there is like a point where you struggle by wanting to become better and better and towards perfection. There are always points where you struggle and you fall back, and you realize there's nothing such as a perfection. Not only musically, especially musically, of course, for this album, we wanted to push ourselves, but there's a way, a point you cannot get any better, or you just you learn that you're not a machine. You're just a human, and you are just as good as you can in this moment.
Okay, very cool. Cover art is fantastic as well. How come up with that?
Well, we were looking a long time for a good fitting artist, and we just wanted not to go too much into this old school thrash metal at the Repka stylish artwork, which is used a lot from newer thrash bands. We just wanted to separate ourselves from this a little bit, because we think our music is more in a progressive and technical way. So we wanted to put more of this progressive touch into the artwork, and we found Ken Coleman, who is a great artist, and we this matched very, very well with the idea and his concepts to this idea. It was awesome.
Very cool. It's funny you say that progressive technical thing. I want to get into that when we get into the song, because I made a note that hopefully then will help. Maybe you'll be happy with my thoughts. So I guess is what I'm trying to say. Let's jump into the album a little bit. I made some notes on some of the songs. Opening track, Holodox, of course, the title track. Just an absolutely face-melting opener is the term I came up with. Fantastic track. Was Holodox sort of where everything came from, or was that an older track that you were working on, or was it brand new, or how did that come about?
I think it was one of the first ones, but this song had a lot of how do you say that, overwork, or we worked a lot, changed a lot in the song again and again. So the idea was here for a long time, but it never really felt well to play it, so we changed a lot, and then suddenly there was like this knot of confusion was opened, and we could really finish the song. And we just wanted to have a first song again, a face melting song. On the second album we did, there was a more groovy song in the first track, and we used it a lot for opening live shows. And now we just wanted to have a faster one, but also have a few, time changes into the song to make it more interesting to listen to.
The New Face of Hell is track 2. I love the video for this, and to me, this song had a very old school. If you're looking at that old school thrash sound, this one really had it.
All right.
How was making the video for that? It looked like it was kind of fun.
Yeah. I love doing videos. I love doing the concept of the video. I think this is more my thing in the band. I really like to do a fusion of the music and the video clip, and to try to get the lyrics through the visualization. And that was a very, very nice thing to do.
Yeah.
Video clip.
I was watching the video for Art is Dead, and I'm looking at the title and I'm listening to the lyrics, and this is ironic because I don't think you meant this, and I'm like, okay, Art is dead. Is he thinking like Gene Simmons when Gene Simmons said rock is dead? And just when I had that thought, you opened up your mouth and like spit out the paint.
Yes.
I was like, that is really ironic. Obviously, probably wasn't the message though, or was it?
No. This song was created by me in a very short time, and from interviews you read all these good songs are written in such short times. Like from Black Sabbath, Paranoid they told me. Well, they tell in interviews they wrote this song in maybe 15 minutes or something.
Right.
They had just to add a song more to the album, and I was showing my songs to the band. And they were a bit skeptical about the music. They thought it would be too difficult to play and too many time changes and stuff. And I was a bit frustrated. And out of this frustration, I thought, let's just write a song which is very straightforward and a bit, almost boring to play, but just to see their reaction. So I brought that song, and then they told me, yeah, this song is actually pretty cool. Just work on it a little bit, do some Comaniac stuff into it, and then it's going to be great. And I was very confused, but I just thought that, well, let's go on with the song. And Art is Dead, the song name came then from the idea, well, if this is music people want to hear, then Art is definitely dead. But that was the idea from the song, but it developed after that, but that was actually the core of the song, and why the song is called Art is Dead.
Very cool. Head of the Snake. This is where my note says progressive thrash, and the other note I put here was if King Crimson and Metallica had a threesome, this is what would come out of it.
All right.
I think you hit it out of the park on that one. If you were looking for progressive technical thrash with the acoustic parts, the solo, fantastic track and a killer video.
Oh, thank you. Well, this song was awesome to write. It was pretty difficult than the other songs, which I wrote into the band because of the acoustic guitar and stuff, and that was pretty awesome.
Yeah, great track. Track 5, Narcotic. Opening screen, I've got Holy King Diamond.
Yeah, I worked a little bit on that. That was difficult to reach, but yeah, we thought let's do an old school homage to a band, which is awesome.
Yeah. I hope Tommy didn't have you try and hit that scream too many times in the studio singing.
Well, I must be honest. I thought there was the first day I tried it, and it didn't really work out. So I tried it in the second day, and then it was better.
Nice.
So I had a few hours on that, but it worked out in the end.
Under the Gun. This is a track where, obviously I'm listening to everything, but this is a track to where your rhythm section, Stefan and Joel on bass and drums, I thought really shined. This is where I really heard it. Those guys are slamming behind you and Valentin on guitars and stuff.
Yeah.
Just a killer rhythm section on Under the Gun.
Yeah. I think so as well. I think in this song you can hear the bass. There is also a little bass solo, which is higher, so you can hear the frequencies pretty much better than on the other songs. Yeah. But I remember in the studio we had difficulties to get the bass separated from the guitar, just from the frequencies. It's sometimes it's difficult if you have a clear vision how bass should be and how guitars should be, and sometimes that doesn't work together, and we really struggled to get the bass out of the sound. So I think this is a big field where we can improve a lot for the next album. But on this song, it kind of worked. I think it has to do with a lot of things. You know, the bass should never do the same, or not for too long should do the same like the guitar. It should be separated, and I think in this song there was a lot of space for the bass, and that really helps the song to groove and develop in that direction.
Yes, I agree. Then I got to the last track, Bittersweet, and you've just released very recently a lyric video for this one. And I gave you what I always call my last track test. I want to see if the band is trying as hard on the last track of the album as they are on the first. And you'll be happy to know you passed. But at the same time, a bit of a left turn here. I found this song to be kind of melancholy, great tune. I've got to ask, and I've taken one keyboard lesson in my life. A friend of mine was in a cover band, and I said, show me how to play something. He's just noodling around, showing stuff. And he goes, minor chords are always kind of melancholy. You hear a lot of them like Pink Floyd, stuff like that. And he was playing some of those. Are there a lot of minor chords in Bittersweet? Because it seemed to have a very melancholy feel to it.
That is a very good question, because I was working a long time for this song, and there are a lot of minor chords, but, and that is the very interesting thing, there are a lot of major chords as well, because I think, since I listen a lot to Alice in Chains, for example, or also Opeth, which is a big influence for me, Opeth, and those bands, they use a lot of major chords, but you cannot hear it as a major chord, but it's the whole harmony with the vocals and how they change the chords. There is not such thing as minor is sad and major is happy. It's just how you use it. So in this song, I was really trying hard on theory, in music theory, to get a vibe which is has two sides. Maybe this is the melancholy thing then, when you change from very sad to happy, but while you use happy sounding vocals over minor chords and vice versa. This is there's a lot of potential in music in this way, and for me especially, Alice in Chains and Opeth are mastering this things of harmony and using chords in the right way.
I thought it was a great ender to the album. Like I said, it just sort of, after everything else, you had the thrashness of, some old school thrash songs, some of this progressive stuff on there, technical and everything. And, like Love and Pride, that whole main riff just kind of throbs. And then this one came along, and it was almost sort of a very different kind of tune. I really liked it. I thought it fit extremely well, just because it gave you a little bit of a time to come down a little bit,
Yeah. For me, thrash metal has actually always been a pretty dynamic genre. When you check out the old Metallica albums, they really forced themselves into using harmonies and also clean guitars and stuff. I think there's a lot of potential. Nowadays, I hear a lot of very fast and very face-melting thrash metal, which is awesome, but I think the genre should still be or hold a kind of dynamic approach, and we tried that a lot with the last song, and also try to show maybe another face of the band.
I like the video you put out that showed what everybody's playing. What is it, the 5, 8, 9 frets or something like that? You showed how it was just on 3 frets with how they're playing the guitar. You put a video.
Yes, exactly. Yes, yeah. I know what you mean. Yes, exactly. Yeah, that's the thing I hear a lot. Exactly in new thrash metal. If you want to say it really harsh, it's almost, you can reduce it to just a few chords. Just a few frets on the guitar, and that's not really a thing I want to achieve in my music, at least.
Who influenced you on guitar along the way?
Well, definitely, I'm more of a band guy, a big fanboy. I'm not really a fan of particular people, but more of bands.
Okay.
But of course, I was always inspired by James Hetfield, of course, from the beginning. And then Åkerfeldt from Opeth has been a big influence also. I love seeing them live. It's just an awesome experience. And yeah, I think this is more of the guitar stuff is more from James Hetfield, just a really strong riffing. And vocally, I really like John Bush from Armored Saint. I think he's an awesome singer, and he combines good technique and a beautiful voice, also with a very aggressive and scratchy, scratchy sounds. He's an awesome singer, and I really enjoy him.
And were you self-taught? Did you ever take lessons, or?
Yeah, I'm a total self-taught guy. I'm more of the, when you play and record yourself, you can tell what kind of musician you are, I think. Especially in our band, you have our guitarist, Valentin. He's a very educated guitar player, and you can hear that. He's very continuous in his movements. He's more like a very fast and exact player. And I'm more of the punkish player, maybe a bit more sloppy, but very, very with a lot of attitude. And so I'm more of the self-taught guy, which is just playing straightforward and really strong, but maybe not too clean, a bit dirty.
Now, we talked a little bit at the top about how the release date of Holodox was pushed back from April to September. And you guys have always been a touring band. You've toured Europe, Japan. You've always been on the road. To not go out or release an album and not go out must be even more frustrating.
Yeah, it's absolutely horrible. I mean, you have one chance as a small band as we are. We're working very hard, but you have just a very small time window where you can promote your album with a good chance for touring and playing shows everywhere, and this time window is pretty much after you released an album. So with these conditions now, it's very, very difficult to get the album out on live shows. It's more focus on the digital promotion and stuff, and this is, to be honest, not really our thing. We have to get used to it anyways, but we would love to tour now, and unfortunately it's not going to work, but maybe we really hope it's going to work later, early next year or something.
I think I saw somewhere you guys are like the most active thrash band in Switzerland,
I think that's appropriate, really. Yeah. I mean, just looking back in the last 5 years, releasing 3 albums and touring a lot and playing a lot of shows, I think there's not much other things going on in Switzerland right now.
Say if a magic wand was waved and this whole situation went away overnight, you could go out and do a world tour with anybody. Who would be your band you would like to hook up with to do a worldwide tour with?
And there are a lot of bands coming into my mind. There is I would love to play with Symphony X. Do you know the band?
Yeah.
And I'm just so impressed by these guys playing and singing. They are just really out of their minds. I guess I would love to play with them. And there's also a Swiss band which is very, they don't reach out to many people. They started as a thrash band, but now they're more of a progressive rock, progressive metal band, and they did crazy stuff. They played shows like Metallica with the orchestra and everything, but just for maybe for 50 people or something, but had this huge investment into this whole thing, working so hard, but they don't really reach a lot of people. But I love this band. It's called The Burden Remains, and that would be awesome, playing with Symphony X and The Burden Remains on a tour.
Very cool, very cool. Talking with Jonas here, lead guitarist, vocalist for Comaniac. Their new album, Holodox, is out now. 9 tracks, 45 minutes, just killer stuff. Jonas, I always like to end my interviews with silly questions. I'm hoping these are questions you've never even been asked before.
Yeah, that could be possible. To be honest, I already heard a few questions I've never been asked before, so thank you already for this awesome interview.
I appreciate that. Favorite toy growing up as a child?
favorite toy. All right. Let me think here. When I was a very small kid, I used to go to my granddad, and he had this. How do you call that? Like a toy, a stuffed animal or something?
Yeah. Okay.
Stuffed animal, and it was a big penguin.
Oh, nice.
And it was standing right next to the door, and always when I entered, I saw this penguin, and for me it was huge. It was like the size of me, and I was always really like impressed by this thing. And then there was this my birthday. I don't remember, maybe my fourth birthday or something. And then he gave it to me, and I was very proud, and I used it all the time for protecting myself. I think that would be my my toy.
Very cool. Favorite superhero?
Superhero?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not too much into this comic thing.
Okay.
I see it's a big thing. For example, Anthrax, a big influence for us. They always come up with these comics and stuff. But I really enjoyed the Batman movies, actually.
Okay.
The last few which came out, I think I would go for Batman.
Yeah, those last couple Batman movies were really, really good.
Yeah.
If you could go back in time and eat one of your mom's home-cooked meals from your youth, what would you have her prepare for you?
She always made these stuffed tomatoes, and she stuffed it with meat and cheese, and there was this and rice, and that was my absolute favorite meal during my childhood. So I would go with that.
What is a day off from music like for you? What do you do if you say, like, okay, I'm not going to record, I'm not going to play guitar, I'm not going to do anything with the band, I'm just going to take the day off? What would you do for a day off from music?
A day off from music? Well, if the weather is nice, I like to go to a lake, just hang out there, have a few beers. That's what I really enjoy. And if the weather is bad, I recently started to experience a few video games again. There is this game called Age of Empires 2, which has been released in 1999. I remember I got it back then, and I just thought I just saw there's a new definitive edition of this game, and I hit it up a few times. It's really fun.
Very cool. Given your choice of household chores, would you rather do the dishes or the laundry?
Dishes.
Okay. Other than your own, what is the last piece of music you listened to, other than one of your own songs?
What's the last music I listened to?
Yeah.
You mean the last band I listened to?
Yeah, the last band.
Oh, all right. That should have been At the Gates.
Oh, very cool. Last one, and this is the one we have the most fun with. If they were to make a movie of your life, what actor would you pick to portray you in the movie? And it's your movie, your life. You can pick anybody.
Oh, movies and actors.
Yeah.
Oh, actors. All right. Well, let me think here. I saw this movie called. Are you a big movie fan?
Somewhat, yeah.
Somewhat. All right. Do you know a movie called The Danish Girl?
I do not know that one. No.
You do not know. It's a pretty strange one. I think what's his name? Eddie something. Eddie. Let me just check this.
Yeah, I'm trying to look it up on my phone as well. Eddie Redmayne.
Redmayne, yes, exactly. Yes. Eddie Redmayne. He's he played also the oh Jesus, I don't remember the name of the very famous physicist. He played a few roles, and he's always playing a very a strange person.
Yeah.
With it's difficult to describe, but I think he has a very very unique way in acting, and I love all his films, even though they are a bit controversial. But I like that, and I like his He's he's playing a maniac, and so I like it.
I'm going to have to check that film out then. You've educated me to something now tonight, so besides
All
music,
right,
so that's
all right.
very, very cool. Well, Jonas, I thank you very much for taking the time. Once again, we're talking to Jonas, lead guitarist, vocalist for the Swiss band Comaniac. The new album is called Holodox, out on
Absolutely.
Metal World Records. You can get it at all the outlets. Fantastic. Old school, new school, progressive, technical thrash, we'll call it.
That sounds awesome.
All right.
Absolutely. So yeah, if you like that, go check us out. It's comaniac.ch is our homepage. Yeah. It's for Switzerland. It's ch. That's where we come from. And yeah, exactly. If you want to check our music, you find it there, and also a store with all the merchandise and CDs.
I was going to say they can buy directly from you.
Absolutely, yes.
Definitely.
That might be the easiest way. Yeah.
Okay, let's give that website one more time. It's comaniac.ch, you said?
ch, exactly.
Okay. All right, check that out to go buy the album and some of the merchandise, and that way everything goes straight to the band. Jonas, hey, it's been a blast. Thank you very much for your time.
Hey, thank you very much, Lance, for having me and hitting us up. It's been an honor. Thank you.
Thank you. Take care.